U.S. wholesale prices rose for the second consecutive month in September, led by energy and food costs. Meanwhile, the gauge of consumer sentiment and expectations surged this month, reflecting a positive view of the economy's current state and its prospects. The University of Michigan Thomson Reuters Consumer Sentiment Gauge, released Friday, climbed to 83.1 in a preliminary October reading, the highest level since September 2007. Confidence has now improved for 3 successive months, with the feel-good factor gaining momentum each month. The increase in the survey index in October was the largest seen since the start of Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. The year, said Chris Williamson, chief economist at research firm Market. The Producer Price Index, which measures how much manufacturers and wholesalers pay for finished goods, increased the seasonally adjusted 1.1% in September from a month earlier, the Labor Department said Friday. The gain was largely due to energy prices that jumped 4.7% during the month, following a 6.4% rise in August. We don't expect gasoline prices to change much in October, but at least we will not see a third big jump in succession, said Nigel Galt, chief U.S. economist with IHS Global. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Insight: inflation elsewhere remains very quiet, so there was nothing to make the Federal fear that it is taking risks now by launching its QE3 easing program. Last month, the Federal Reserve announced it would launch a third round of bond buying known as quantitative easing. Food costs rose 0.2% last month, boosted by prices for dairy products and fresh fruit and melons. So-called core prices, which strip out volatile energy and food components, were unchanged from August. Economists surveyed by Dow Jones Newswires had forecast overall producer Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Prices to rise 0.8% and core prices to grow by 0.2%. The annual rate of inflation at the producer level was up 2.1% last month, the biggest rise since March. A 9.8% increase in gasoline prices accounted for much of the energy cost increase, the Labor Department said. Prices for diesel fuel and residential natural gas also boosted energy costs. Oil prices were high in August and September but have since come down. One development worth keeping an eye on are crude and unfinished goods, analysts said. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Prices for intermediate goods, which are semi-finished goods like lumber or flour that require further processing, grew 1.5% last month, the biggest change since February 2011. Prices of raw materials, known as crude goods, increased 2.8% in September but were down from a nearly 6% rise the previous month. These pipeline gauges have generally been very well behaved for much of 2012, so this bears watching, especially with the QE spigot back on, economist Stephen Stanley with Pierpont Securities wrote in a research note.